Good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I want to talk about something today that's close to my heart, being a caregiver, what it takes to be a caregiver. I often thought that being a caregiver was just something fun to do. I always loved seniors, and I thought that it was something that I could just be able to do well. It turns out that I was able to do it. I had my chance. When I first started out caring for elderly people, it was in a place where I just volunteered. I volunteered for about a year. And then I liked it so much, I started being an activity aide and I started in the nursing home and I cared for it a lot. And I just worked there for a year and I started liking it so much, I applied for the job and I got the job. Taking care of elder people was a joy that I had. And I really loved going to work every day and I was happy about it. But being in activities and taking care of the elderly and taking care of the elderly as a CNA or taking care of the elderly as you're taking care of them at home is two different things. I didn't see that at first, but now I can tell you, and I can honestly tell you that there are some challenges when you take care of the elderly at home. Some of the challenges we'll talk about today, and these challenges for me were something that I I knew were there. I could see them within the CNAs, the challenges that it had. But when I went to work, I was happy every single day. And that's because I enjoyed doing the activities with them. I enjoyed encouraging. I just enjoyed inspiring people. And that's how come I got along. But I, I think about the challenges of being in the nursing home field or whatever, or if you're taking care of a loved one at home. Some challenges are there, even though you may have a passion, and I have a real passion for elderly people. I'm going to be 65 next month, and I'm beginning to be elderly myself, not as elderly as some, but I understand when before my dad died, he had dementia. And dementia is something that it steals your life away from you. It steals everything. It steals your thoughts. And it's something that none of us want. We always pray about not having that, but sometimes it happens. There's dementia and Alzheimer's. It's different things that you can get. It's, there are things that happen in your brain it's hard. It's hard for a family to accept. It's hard for you to accept. And everything becomes challenging. They forget who they are. They forget who their people are. They forget how to do things, but they're still there. You got to realize they're still there. They're inside, and you got to bring that out. You got to bring that laughter. You got to bring things out of them. If they like to paint, if they like to sew, if they like to sing, if they like to, there's all kinds of things that they like to do, and you can find those things inside of them. As my dad had dementia, it was hard. It was hard on us. We have 8 kids in our family, but none of us knew really how to care for him. We relied on the doctors and we relied on the hospitals and different things. And me myself, I never knew how to take care of him. And I regret that as of today. I'm I'm not sure what I could have did better. I tried to do the best that I could. And I know all my siblings tried to do the best they could to because we loved our dad. But, sometimes we get caught up and we have challenges of our own. We have things to do. We can't always be there for everybody at all times. You have young children. At that time my dad got sick. I had young children. Um, that was a challenge for me. I didn't know how to take care of my dad and I didn't know what to do. As I was in the nursing home, I learned how to do things and some of the challenges that were there. I saw them. I was able to communicate with those people and learn about some of the things that they needed. If I had had them when my dad was going through what he went through, I may have been able to take care of him a little bit better. But what's done is done. And the thing of it is, I learned from that experience. There came a time when I needed to take care my mother-in-law, and I had more ability to do that. I had a little more experience to do that. Even though I wasn't a CNA, I had a lot of I had a lot of experience in taking care of it. I knew the things that I needed to do. I knew the things that I needed to take care of her. It was a big responsibility, but I chose to do that. And sometimes you have to do the things that are hard. Hard sometimes is not the easiest thing to do, but it's the thing that you need to do. And this is how it worked out. I took my mother-in-law in and I took care of her. I was able to get the things that she needed. I was able to talk to the doctors the way it needed to be done. She lived a long life. She came here and she was here about 3.5 years. And I was happy to take care of her. Challenges, there were challenges. There's ups and downs along the way. There are social workers that you can talk to. I really didn't know how hard the job was going to be. At the end, I did have help, but in the beginning, I was macho. I thought I could do everything myself. I was scared of falls. I knew that from the nursing home that you had to protect them from falling. She was good for a while. The first year that she was here, she did really well. I was taking care of another lady in her home. I was back and forth, and she was just kind of staying here with us. And I would, bath her and fix her meals or whatever. But I could go half a day and take care of another lady, which I enjoyed, and I loved her too. My mother-in-law stayed here for a while. My son was here also, so he could check in on her. So, that was a thing that she didn't like me to do. And she didn't want me to be out of her sight. She trusted me and she wanted me to be here. And I wanted to be here also, but it gave me a break between taking care of both of them because I had a lady that I could talk to, and then I could talk to her when I came back home, and I still was able to fulfill her needs. But things got worse after the first year. She wasn't able to really do the things that she used to do. I set up a routine for her, like I did in the activity room. I kind of let her exercise. I encouraged her to color. I encouraged her to do some of the things that, to keep her body moving. It got a little worse, so then she couldn't do all those things. So you have to realize that, you have to go along with the patient as they get farther into their sickness, and you have to realize that you have to be a little bit stronger. You have to be a little bit more concerned. Not only concerned, you have to be a little bit more alert and knowing what to do. If they need to go to the hospital, or if they need to be seen by a doctor, or if you just need to give them a little bit extra care. But, still being, me, I thought I was able to do everything by myself, and I did everything by myself for a while, and I kept doing it, but it wears you down. If you're a caretaker, you will realize that you will get worn down quickly. You don't see it at first, but it just kind of mentally drains you. It drains you because you're trying to be everything for everybody, and you can't be everything for everybody because, most of the time you're just, some people just have that part of caretaking by itself. And that's one thing. And it's still hard. But when you have to take care of your family, you have to cook the meals, you have to clean, you have to do the laundry, you have to do all the things that you need to do. It takes a toll on you. So the fun part is there. And there's days where, you would be caring for her. And, we could sing and we would laugh and we would talk about old times, and we would do the things, and, the important things. The most important thing is that you have to remember taking care of someone, even though it's hard. If you can do it, I would suggest, even today, after the hard times and the easy times, I would suggest that you try and do it. Try the best you can. And I always had this open conversation with her. And I said, I will take care of you the best I can. When I can't, I hope you can understand that it may not be a way that I can do it, and then maybe something else has to happen. She wasn't seeing that at all, she would just look at me, and she wasn't seeing that at all. She kinda had more confidence in me than I had in myself. I know sometimes, you think that, the struggle gets rough and you feel like you can't go on, but guess what? God is there and he helps you. Even when you can't go on, he helps to pick you up. So I used to pray. I used to pray that God would give me strength. And he did. He gave me strength every day. Some days I didn't want to get up. Sometimes, I would get up and make my husband's breakfast, and I would think, I wish I could go back to bed. But just after I got that done, I had to go in there and check on her and get the things that she needed ready for her bath, get her breakfast ready. She was always ready and raring to get up. It's just as soon as you got her up, she would she would eat her breakfast and she would get her bath, and man, she was ready to go back to bed. And that's what they do when they have dementia. It's hard for them to stay up long periods of time, but you have to be patient with them. If you're patient with them, they'll understand. The things that they do, you can encourage them and let them see that you care, and they will respond. They will do more of what you want them to do. Remind them of the things that they used to do. She liked cooking. She liked cooking a lot. That was her main thing that she did. She did work off at some points in her life, but she really loved to cook. She was one of the best cooks that I ever knew. She would give you food. She would load you up when you went over there. You would eat dinner or something with her, but she would load you up when you left. And everybody loved her rice pudding. If you've never had rice pudding before, you'll never have rice pudding like hers. But getting back to the dementia, it's a sad disease. It's something that I wouldn't wish on nobody. But it would be a thing to do to learn about it, because you never know what family member may end up with it. You never know. I pray that our families, it never ends up, I hope they get a solution to it before anything happens to any of us. But I thank God for the privilege that he gave me to be able to be a caretaker, because I wanted to experience what it felt like. And now I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be a caretaker. I never really went to school for caretaking. When I was younger, I wanted to be a nurse, and I never went. Nobody ever really encouraged me, and I never really just went and did it. But in my elderly life, I was able to do all these things that I had no thoughts that I would be able to do, because I didn't have the training or whatever. But just being there and being able to do that gave me the hope and the experience that I needed. Sometimes when some people get dementia, they don't have the people to take care of them, for one. They don't have the money to deal with people to get the things that they need. And that's important. You can do it without having a lot, but it's a lot easier when you have the things that you need to take care of them. Because just knowing the things that you need, you know, there's so many things that you need that people wouldn't think. It's a lot easier to take care of somebody just having gloves. Gloves, gloves put you in a spot where you can handle a person gently and not feel like you're intruding on them. You are able to give them their bath, and you're able to put their clothes on them. And you got to respect them. You got to respect their privacy. You got to respect that, just because they can't do certain things, that they're still human. They are still in there. They have a heart inside of them, and you got to find that heart, and you got to take care of them in the way you would want to be taken care of. I think about it all the time. I'm getting elderly too, and I want to be taken care of right. I don't know. I'm not going to say that I won't go into a nursing home, because she never wanted to go in a nursing home. She made that clear. But I can't say that. I feel like, it's a lot of pressure on a family member. It's hard. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's not. But if they can't do it, I would appreciate that if I had to ever go in a nursing home, I appreciate for my family to check on me, make sure I'm clean. That's the main thing that I care about is being clean. And that's one thing I think that people deserve to be clean. I took care of her so well far as cleanliness. She was always happy. Her hair was always clean. Her hair was always done. Her body was always clean. I bathed her every single day of her being here with me. And I have no regrets of that because I feel like I took good care of her. I might not did everything exactly the way she would have wanted it done, but I did the best that I could. If you ever have a chance to be a caretaker, take that chance and be able to give that love to someone because it's not easy for them either. On the end, I had to have help. Some of the helpers that come in your home are good, some of them are not as so good. I had one particular person to come in, and this was the last couple of years. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know what I would have did. I probably would have lost it because I was getting so tired, so stressed out. But you know what? She come in and she took the load. She lifted the heavy load for me, and that helped me. It helped me to be able to do the things that I needed to get her through. She was 90 when she passed. I'm so thankful for the opportunity. It was hard. I said some days I said, how am I going to make it? I don't know why I even did this. But if I think about it today, and knowing especially that I would want somebody to take care of me, her being 90 years old was a blessing, was a true blessing. And as much as she did for me, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. So if you ever have a chance, I encourage you to be a caretaker, not just put your family member in a nursing home. If you have to, that's one thing. But if you don't have to and you can try to do it, try to do it. I encourage you today. I encourage you to love somebody enough to do that. It may be hard, but just try. Until next time, we'll talk about this again because there's so much more to taking care of someone. And until next time, have a good day and stay safe.